Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Monday. This is the Bob Randall and Company Live Preview Show, and this is episode 19. This is June 12th, 2023. And hey, at this point, let's say hello to my co-host today, Santa Scott Saratine.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it's great to see everybody. It's great to be on here with you today, Bob. I got the opportunity to take Randall's place, so maybe I will bring more cheer than he does. Who knows? But we'll see. Hey, how's the weather on your side of the world?
Well, you know what? We had storms last night, built up over our area and just kind of sat there. We had some flash flooding. We got an inch and a half of rain, so we were kind of on the uh, it held somewhat, but not very much. But there was some uh, grapefruit sized hail in North Texas last night. So a lot of folks got damaged. You know, it's that time of year. May and June is always that way here in the South. And we're just thankful that, no one was hurt. That grapefruit sized hail can really do some damage. It can even go through your roof, and boy, I wouldn't want to be caught outside in it. That's for sure. What's going on up there in Oklahoma today?
We've had rain started early this morning, so the arthritis kicks in, and we know when it's going to rain. So for sure, it's been a dreary day, but we had a little sunshine peek out a little while ago, and thank goodness we got the yard mowed this last weekend. So it's great to be here, and I think we've got a lot in store for the folks today. What do you think?
Yeah. It's gonna be a really good show. Just so everyone knows, Randy had a gig today. You know, he's always a magical Randy and out doing magic, and so today he was blessed with being able to have a gig. He told me to tell everyone hi, and he misses everyone already, but he'll see you back next week. So fantastic for all that. You know, hey, let's say hi to some of the folks we got on today. We got Jeff Ouellette, Ben Bellhorn, looks like Rex Ray, our buddy is on, AJ Bayless, Charlie Johnson. Good to see everyone. And just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone for reaching out. Those who could not attend Gordon Bailey's memorial service, we got there, and the Wi-Fi in that portion of rural Texas is terrible. We had to scramble, had to finally use. I think it was your Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone, Scott. Is that true?
Or it might have been Jada's, but
Jada, something, but we used it was an iPhone, and we used it to be able to get a hotspot off of it. Uh, we thought that our mic that was hooked up to our camera was working. It looked like it was. Once we got through with the ceremony and was able to look back at the replay of it, we realized that the mic was not working, even though it showed it was on, and we thought we were getting, feed through it. It didn't, but luckily, where Scott had set up the camera and was at right at the front of the church, the house mic was able to be picked up. It's a little fuzzy at times, but just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in and watched that. And for those who traveled, we had the furthest that traveled was Santa Chuck Moore. He is one of Sat Bob's instructors for the northern tier of the United States. He came down, Spangle, of course, from Springfield. We had uh, from Oklahoma City, of course, Scott and uh,
Ben
gosh, no,
Martin.
can't think. Yeah, but anyway, we had folks that come in from some distance, and we appreciate that very much. It was a great time. Uh, to a tribute to a gentleman that was just a giant in our industry, contributed so much, and that's why he was a Hall of Famer. And we're going to miss him dearly. You already do. Matter of fact, last night, one of my memories popped up was a memory that he had sent me 9 years ago of a Jello mold that he was given by the owner of the lumber company that he was working for, Southern Lumber. And it was a used Jello mold, and it was given to him as a wedding gift when he got married. So, and he's had it all these years and always had it up on display. Matter of fact, when me and Scott and Spangle went to Greenfield, Missouri to retrieve all of his stuff to bring to Texas to move him down here, it was hanging on the wall. Of course, we grabbed it and brought it along with all the goodies that he had.
Yeah,
And we mentioned Gordon collected a lot of stuff. He liked to collect things, momentums, things that that meant something to him, and he had a lot of that.
we also ought to give an extra big special thanks to Santa Mel, who did a very touching, awesome service. you couldn't ask for a better tribute for somebody to say the kind words she did about Gordon and fill all our hearts with the love that he extended to all of us through the years.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, looks like we got Hot Rod Dan from Wichita, Kansas, joining us also. Sean White. Hello, Sean. How are you, dear? Bob Collins, our friend over in Houghton, Louisiana. Jackie Chamberlain's on. Good crowd. Okay. Are you ready for that something burger, Scott?
I'm starving.
Well, let's go.
All right.
All right, so Randall had submitted his question for today to me earlier in the week when he found out that he was going to have a gig today. And, when I decided to bring Scott on, I said, let's save the one that Randy had for his next week's show. And that way he doesn't have to come up with a topic. And so today's hot topic, of course, we have two topics, one from Scott, which he will go first. I'll go second. And these are questions. This is the audience participation portion of our show. We're going to pose these questions to you. Give us your honest answer. And I'm going to let Scott take off from here.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob. What would be your first response? What would your first response be to a child that told you they wanted nothing for Christmas because we don't celebrate Christmas? How would you respond to that child?
And this has happened to Scott. And as we get you guys answers here, we want to find out what you think first before Scott tells you how he handled it and why he handled it the way he did. But this is a great question. This is a question I haven't heard anybody really take it to this level of what we're going to talk about today in this. So shoot us some answers over there in your in the comment box for us. Tell us what you think about this. How would you handle it? You want to read it again, Scott?
Sure. What would your first response be if a child told you they wanted nothing for Christmas because we don't celebrate Christmas?
That's right.
And we're looking for, what would your reaction be? How would you go back and because when it happened to me originally, I was dumbfounded. I didn't really know what to say. So I'm looking for feedback. So I guess in a way, Bob, to see if if I addressed it correctly. I've been for 5 years, 6 years, going on my 6th season. So yeah, I'm still a little green. I'm not like Bob old.
Thank you. But again, this was something that happened to you, and I think you handled it in your best response because of the situation and your background. And I think you definitely would have handled it better than I would have. I mean, I wouldn't have known what to say. I would have kind of, like you've been, dumbfounded on it and say, well, I guess my first question would be, why don't you celebrate Christmas? And then that's probably where then I would be keyed in to what the child was probably talking about. But as the question is posed, it can be something to kind of make you think about it. All right, so Rex has got the first response there. Scott, can you read it?
Why don't you celebrate love, joy, and happiness? Because that's what Christmas is about. That's easy, but I'm going to throw this back at you. But we don't have Christmas at our house at all. Now, I'm going to throw this out here a little bit farther. And let's think in terms of non-Christian religions and how that poses. That doesn't mean children don't come see Santa. Santa is a gave to the needy, St. Nicholas, to go back in history. So you've got to always keep that in the back of your head also. Let's see. Point. Jackie Chamberlain, I would say something like, do you get together with family and friends for birthday dinners? It jumped. Or celebrate other holidays? Tell me about your gatherings. That's good. Jackie, that's a good way to approach it, I think.
Absolutely.
Ben Bellhorn said, I had that happen this past season. The child looked at to mom for approval, and mom said, it's okay, you can tell him. And the child told me that they were Jewish. I responded, of what fun, happy Hanukkah. What's your favorite thing about Hanukkah? Ben, that's great. And and I will tell you this to go on is that it was a Jewish child that came to me, and she stood there like a the little boy that was in the Norman Rockwell painting with her hands behind her back and looking up at me. And I said, "So what could I bring you this year for Christmas or get on the sleigh for you?" And she says, "Nothing. This truly happened." And I said, "Well, why do you not want anything?" "We don't celebrate Christmas." I said, "Well, why was I so silly?" I said, "What about the last 3 days of Hanukkah? Is there something special you'd like?" So I went straight into it with an assumption. Her parents were standing behind, but I either got lucky or it seemed the right thing to say to this little girl. I mean, but that's what I did, and I asked her what, because there were, and you need to know these other religions and how they work. Really, I think. Um, because you need to know if they're in the middle of Hanukkah, what day of Hanukkah, what night it is of Hanukkah. You know, there's 8 nights of Hanukkah, and and I know that because we celebrate it in my house, both Hanukkah and Christmas. So you know, we say the prayers every night over the candles and things like that. My kids do it, and they love doing it, and they just feel like that we're blessed that the eternal light in the temple, the oil for one day lasted 8 nights. So you know, it's all goes back to our Bible studies and things like that. So, but I think it's important, so I don't wander off too much, that we know what goes on in other religions at the time that we are portraying our Santa Clauses.
Yeah, exactly. Sean White, she has a great response here if you want to read it, Scott.
I would take the emphasis off of the gifts part of Christmas. I would talk about the important it is to be with those that love you. Christmas spirit is love no matter how or if it's celebrated like others. It's a good
Good
point.
response. Good response,
Very good
Sean.
point.
Very good. And next one is from our friend Ted Flynn. Yes, Ted Flynn, here, Facebook user, Scott.
Yeah, my response has been well. It well, it's from wonderful. What? My response has been well.
Well, it
It
was,
from wonderful. You get to come and see me, and I get to see you. That's good. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
very
Sorry,
good.
Ted. I'm a little tongue tied.
He don't have his glasses on either. All
Sorry.
right, fantastic. Have we got any other responses? Anyone else that wants to add in? Jackie just put another one in. You want to grab it,
Oh,
Scott?
yeah. I'm in Ohio's Amish country where Christmas is extremely important. Just no Santa. Interesting. So,
Yeah.
how to Jackie? Just to come off that a little bit, telling me a little bit more about how. What do they do with no Santa? What do they use to help celebrate Christmas for the children to keep the magic in it? My
Yes,
dad's always voice to text.
Jackie
Sorry.
is one of our future guests. She should have already been on the show, but she was gracious enough to give her spot up for someone who only had that one show open, or that one week open, which was Sammy that we had on a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Right.
But she'll be coming on July 11th, and Jackie has years of experience.
Oh, she'll
And
be. We'll talk to her in Branson then.
yes, absolutely.
All right. Looking
Yes, we
forward to
will.
it, Jackie. Family gatherings, big dinners, homemade gifts. That's how the Amish do it. So that's cool. Very interesting. Good. Um, the voice to text. Lots of church. Okay, yeah, I understand that. That's great. I would also direct the attention of the child to a prop and talk about something in my life with Santa. Interesting.
Yeah,
Very
because
nice.
just because the child doesn't celebrate, as Scott said, the history going all the way back to Saint Nicholas, it's okay to take the children of different religions and discuss something and kind of maybe open their mind up to something, that they may not have experienced or thought about. I don't think. I mean, what do you think, or Scott? You wouldn't be crossing the line with the parents if you did it, right?
I don't think so. I just
I mean,
you
after all,
know,
they brought the child to see Santa, so I
brought the child to see you, and I give a token out that said I met Santa Claus, and on the back it says Merry Christmas. I still give that to every child, whether they're, it's the point that came to see me, and I'm somebody that brings the magic of the Christmas season or the winter season into their lives, and their friends at school all talk about Santa Claus, so it's about Santa. We're looking at little kids and, or children that are small and under the age of 12 and under, I would say, for the most part. And most of those are influenced by at school, and they talk about Santa. So, in a Jewish family growing up, I was I wouldn't celebrate Christmas. I went to my friend's house up on Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and they had a tree, and I had gifts under the tree. Now, I don't know that in my mind that Santa brought those gifts, but my name was on them, and I don't remember if it said from Santa or if it said anything other than my name. But it was about the Christmas tree and gift giving and exchanging
guess.
the love and the gifts from each other's heart, whether it be big or large. And I'm going to go back to Gordon for just a second. Gordon gave gifts from his heart. And we all should have learned from that a $50,000 car that somebody might give you should have the same meaning as a $2 rubber band ball that Gordon would have gave you. It's about giving and giving from the heart. It's not a monetary thing. So be gracious to everybody, no matter what. And that's kind of where it goes back to, if the child doesn't celebrate Christmas, be gracious that she came to you to see you and believe that you're a jolly fellow and kind and you're a toy maker.
Exactly, and those rubber band balls was given from the heart. He gave a lot of them out this last year, and
He did.
the time it takes to make one of those rubber band balls is phenomenal. And for Gordon, he didn't have as much use in his hands because of arthritis setting in that he had had in his youth, and that was a way for him to work. It was kind of a workout, so I mean, it wasn't only love that went into those. There was a little bit of effort and a little bit of sweat and tears that went into them also. Rubber bands aren't easy to work with when you're trying to build a ball out of them, but very special. All right, so we're okay. We got them jumping in here really quick, and let me see what we got here.
The
Going to
Amish
be
children will
Charlie
definitely
Johnson.
stand in line to get a candy cane. So
Okay, that's Jackie. Go
that's
to the one before that is Charlie Johnson. So
Christmas is the spirit of giving. Help someone else or volunteer over the holiday. Very good. That's a great point. And seems like I give an awful lot of time anyhow. So
and Jackie, yes, candy canes are a children's favorite. I don't care who you are. Looks like AJ's got a comment in there.
I like the big Christmas ornament store in Amish country. I like that too. I
Yeah,
have
well,
had a Jewish young man celebrate Christmas at my house. He's 22 years old, was so excited to get the gifts from Santa too. Absolutely, Sean. And that's the thing that about the Jewish religion, for one, is that they celebrate Hanukkah, but they have no problem with loving Santa still. And my point is we need to acknowledge their religion as well as acknowledge what we believe in and how we stand and what we stand for. So um, I think we've had some great input, and Sean,
great talk.
um, Sean, I mean, you just you touched my heart with your last comment about that was so excited, because that reminds me of my childhood. I just can't tell you, um, how much it does. I just
And that's why she says yes, love them all, and that's why we love this particular segment, the something burger segment. Uh, the name kind of came about. Me and Randy was talking, and when we launched this particular show, we started off with a tagline: "The show about nothing." And then it was brought to our attention real quick where there is a whole lot of something in these shows. And that's kind of where the something burger came from. I tell you, it's my favorite segment of the show on Monday. I absolutely love doing these first two questions. Always great participation from everyone. Thank you so much for your comments. At this point, we're going to go ahead and move along to the second question. This one is kind of, again, different in a way. How many of you are tempted to react before thinking when it comes to bright, shiny objects? In other words, take action as a irresistible urge to behave in a certain way, especially against one's conscious wishes, on impulse. What I'm referring to is how an announcement, ad, or even a job opportunity are posed in fancy descriptive language, using lots of bright, shiny words to draw you in. I want to know, are you instantly turned off or are you intrigued? Which way does this particular question, well, the way I posed it to you, how does it make you feel? Do you instantly get kind of like, what, that's over the top. People are over exaggerating. That job can't be that good. There can't be that, it doesn't pay, can't be paying that well. I mean, there's so many things that fall into the realm of what we're talking about here, but are you turned off or are you intrigued?
Bob,
Sure.
personally, my question would be: is it a scam?
First thing you look at, is it too good to be true?
That's right.
Is it too good to be true? That always is
You
what
know,
pops in my head
are they
first.
offering ridiculous amounts of you know of money, for instance, or are they candy coating it too much? Are they getting red and green M&Ms for sure, as Gordon would
And,
say?
and I'm glad you mentioned Gordon again here because this is where this question comes from. I don't know how many of you saw. It's been back probably 3 months now, maybe 2 months, 3 months, maybe even further back than that. Time gets away from me, but there was an ad for red cowboy hats, and there was quite a few guys that was intrigued by it, and it was inexpensive. I don't remember, something like $10 plus shipping, and of course the picture that they showed looked a lot better than a $10 hat. Well, quite a few Santas sent their money in and never received a hat. And that's where the idea for this question came from. I was looking back at some of my memories and had went over to Gordon's page to look before we had his service this week, just to kind of get the uh, crying out of the way. You might say I was afraid that when I was trying to do my eulogy that I would lose it, so I was trying to get absorb as much as I could and try to stay focused during the service. And this was one of the things that I found in there that I had forgot about, actually, because it was several months ago. All right, so I am overthinker. I take my time. Very good, Jackie. Rex says if they have to try over the top methods to sell an item, then I wonder how good it can be. Exactly to the point, Rex. I don't know if you saw that deal on the cowboy hats or not. It was a red cowboy hat. Said it looked nice, looked like a couple of $100 hat for a very cheap price, and uh, one person went for it, next person went for it. Next thing you know, they're saying, "Did you ever get your hat?" No, didn't ever get my hat. Try to reach out to the people, get no response. You go to the website, it's gone. So it was a scam, is what it was basically.
I hate to be so
Uh,
raw about that, though. Um, let's say the Facebook user Bob was always suspicious and try to never act on impulse. Good point.
who was that, Angie? Gary. Okay, that was Gary Linder. Uh, Sean
Sean
says,
White.
I always step back, read reviews. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. And reviews are usually a good way to kind of get a feel for things like this, Sean. It's a great point.
Yeah, reviews are
Uh,
always a good indication, Bob.
yes. And Rex says, yes, he saw it and he passed on it. Yeah, I was the same way. Of course, I already had a red cowboy hat that I've had for a number of years, and it's an expensive one. It was really nice, coming from a company here in College Station, Texas. It's been in business over 100 years, family owned. And so I didn't have a need for one, but I knew instantly that just seemed too good to be true, as I said before. $10 or 10-gallon hat. Exactly. Exactly. That's Derek. Derek, did you see that ad when it popped up on Facebook that Gordon and I don't remember who all had bitten on it, and uh, Gordon actually mentioned it to me the last time I talked to him if I had seen it, and I said yes, and he was still waiting on it, and of course it never showed up.
Is that Derek Dugan?
Derek Dugan, yes, Derek's
Hi
with us
there,
today.
Derek. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well and your family's well.
Derek says, yes, I see many more on a regular basis. There are a whole lot of them
Yeah.
out there that you really got to be careful on. And there's one in particular that I've ran across recently, and luckily my stupidity didn't catch it at first, but it was the website. You should always look at the website and see if the website address is kosher. And the one that I was talking about wasn't selling anything. It's just a clickbait. And it was for the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, I live in Dallas, a Cowboy fan my whole life. And it had this shiny, bright, object for a title. And but without looking, my stupidness, clicked on it. And of course, instantly my McAfee uh, security popped up and said, "This is not a safe site." And I instantly got out of it. So be careful when you're out there looking at things. Make sure you do, again, your due diligence. Derek says, "Doing well. Thank you." And let's see here. We had,
Stay
who's the
away
one
from
above?
TEMU. Rex Ray,
Who
stay
says
away from TEMU.
TEMU? TEMU. I guess that was to Derek. Derek says, yes, indeed. I'm not sure. What is TEMU? TEMU.
Probably one of those fake.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you. Who's
Oh,
this
okay. All right. Yeah, I get it now.
clothing company?
Timu, yeah.
Who said I saw it on there, Angie, that you've got? Gary. Okay, Gary says he saw it also.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Well, all right, guys. Thank you.
Clothing company.
Clothing
Right.
company, yes. Thank you for chiming in on this one. Again, just trying to bring awareness to the community that just because it's got this big, fancy, bright, shiny object in front of you, don't always fall for it. Be sure and research it well. As I think it was Jackie said, look at the reviews. Sometimes the reviews can instantly give you a hint. Uh, Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, you may be on there early enough before anybody has a chance to respond, but be careful. Just be careful. Last thing we want to do is get scammed. We work too hard
Well,
for our money.
Bob, the other thing, sometimes if you're on Facebook or Facebook Market or just digging around, you'll see stuff added, in an ad on there that says enclosed trailer $1,000 or $1,500, and then when you go in and look at the ad, it says my aunt's trying to sell the trailer. Contact my aunt, and give you
Yeah.
another name. That is for sure a scam, folks, for sure.
Yeah. And
there's a lot
marketplace,
of
you
that
got to be
out there.
you got to be careful on marketplace. Just because Facebook is pushing that stuff out for sale through the platform, it doesn't mean it can be trusted. All right. Great conversation. Gosh, we've already spent 30 minutes just on these topics alone, and that's why I love these topics. It gets everybody involved, and we get to share and, learn about pitfalls and the goods, the bads, and the uglies. All right, Scott, are you ready? Let's go ahead and let's do Santa's
Let's do a little
Closet Drop
trivia.
Board. All right, let's go.
Let's do some trivia.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Okay.
All right, guys. The Monday Show trivia is always brought to you here by SantaCloset.org. And real quick, Scott, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to let you know and tell everyone else the reason I chose this particular question was I was thinking of Colleen. For those who may not know, Scott's wife is from the Philippines. And so I'm always looking at a new way to go for trivia questions. And I kind of did a little research and came up with this one. And I find this one very intriguing. So go ahead, Scott.
Okie dokie. And once again, we want to thank the Kaufmans for being on board with us and enabling us to give away some nice things from their shop. So don't forget to stop by in your spare time and just check out what they have as well. All right, here's the question for today. What was discovered on the Isle of Flores in Indonesia in 2004 in a huge cave? Thanks, Angela. We need the scientific name as well as the nickname it was given, also the size of the said discovery. So what was discovered on the island of Flores in Indonesia in 2004 in a huge cave? What we're looking for is the scientific name as well as the nickname it was given, and also the size of the said discovery. So don't forget to get those fingers going and start searching. This one might be a little bit of a challenge, but it's when I saw the question, I found it very interesting and found the results very interesting as well, Bob. So you did well today on this one, I think.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, sometimes I spend way too much time researching for trivia. Matter of fact, that is probably the most time-consuming thing I do for both the shows is coming up with trivia questions. And, we kind of went through all these different topics through the last two and a half, 3 years now. And sometimes something pops in my head. I was thinking of you and Colleen last night, and I thought, well, let's go over and see what's going on in Indonesia. And that was the one thing that popped out at me.
Well, I will say this. I'll let Colleen know what the answer is. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, y'all work on that. And while you're working on that, we're going to go ahead and do the SantaCloset.org trailing video, and we'll be right back on the other side of that. Well, we got some good answers already coming in there. Fantastic. Yeah, you put the keywords into the search engine and you usually get, information pops up. So very good. So we'll address the winner and the answer to the trivia here in just a little while. Now, just into the studio, hot off the wires, the Elpin Chatterbox News is reporting at this hour. We want to say first off that Sat Bob's Santa and the Business Being Santa Professional Technical Training School for Christmas Entertainers, and our instructors and support staff still want to thank everyone for your condolences with the passing of our founder, Gordon Bailey. And just to remind everyone, Sat Bob's is relaunching hopefully early 2024, so look for classes. I'm the successor, and I have master instructors Chrissy Kovic, Rex Ray, Chuck Moore, and Keith Alton. We've got a game plan going, and we're like I say, there's some things that we're going to enhance and update, and so be looking for classes early 2024.
That's Scott, exciting, Bob. I can't believe that that you got such a great staff gathered together to move the legacy on with and you're gonna, from what it sounds like, you're gonna do some updating and bring things up, and the technology changes, and in the community and things that have changed since the original books were written. So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, I got to think, Gordon was, and I mentioned this in some comments, that Gordon was a thinker. He was always thinking. He was always, his mind was always moving. As a functioning autistic, he had time in his mind to do things, and he came up with this teaching core that we have. Of course, he would always run things past me, and you know, I love our teaching core. We've got a great group of people who each bring something different to the table. And yes, we're looking to update on the books. And, as Gordon would always say, as soon as something is published, it's out of date because times are always changing, information is always changing. We're in an ever changing industry here. So, yes, fantastic. Just want to thank Chrissy, Rex, Chuck, and Keith for sticking with us and going forth and going forward and trying to fulfill Gordon's wishes. All right, now I'm gonna let you do this next part. This is something that Randy put together and is one of the lead people on this. But I'm gonna
All
let
right.
you read this portion here.
Well, I understand that it's just now been actually publicly announced the exact dates and things, but the 5th annual Red Suit Conclave that Randy's always been involved with in Saginaw, Michigan, August 5th and 6th, 2023. The pre-event was August 4th of 23. So, I mean, you want to go in early, it'd be good to go the 4th, 5th, and 6th. But I understand this is something you don't want to miss, and I look forward to one day maybe making the ride up there. So there are going to be 11 classes for Santa and Mrs. Claus, learning, fellowship, fun, and free. There is no cost to the Red Suit Conclave. So, guys, if you got time and you can get up that way, I definitely mark your calendars and save the date. Free. Oh, yes, it's free. And hotel info, 4 Points by Sheraton. That's 4960 Town Center Road in Saginaw, Michigan. The event venue is the SVRC. I'm not sure, Saginaw Visitors Recreational Center. I don't know if that's correct or not. I probably made that up, and Randy will shoot me for it. But it's the marketplace. It's at 203 South Washington Road in Saginaw, Michigan. So the MichiganSantas.org is the email. I don't know if she can put that up there or not. MichiganSantas.org /event/maps-5th-annual-red-suit-conclave. And that is a mouthful and a typing extravaganza, I guess you might want to say. But that is in Saginaw, Michigan, the Red Suit Conclave, August 5th and 6th, 2023, coming up here in just a few months. And, we don't want to forget the School of Santa's coming up as well, too. So that's another a great school you don't want to miss. And we'll be there live on Tuesday, the
13th.
Is it the 13th or is that Thursday?
No, Tuesday the 11th. I'm
11th,
sorry.
and then we'll be bringing you a special show on the 13th. And we're working on, and it'll be announced, but I'm going to give you an inside thing that 10, 2, and 4, we may have some just spot in broadcasts. So keep your eyes open for the announcement of those and during the day. So don't forget 10, 2, and 4. That is Dr. Pepper's numbers. Back to you, Bob.
All right. So, and right here, I want to make another announcement real quick here. This is something that's been announced. It's been teased for a couple of 3 weeks now. I'm going to read what was put up earlier today. It's going to be the easiest way for me to get it out in correct terms. Get ready for the most extraordinary Santa performance workshop coming to Ohio in March 2024. Only a few in the industry are aware of the details as planning continues, but I want to share what some of the insiders are saying. Wait, you're saying you got both of them? Wow, this is going to be fantastic. All right, so stay tuned for more updates. You don't want to miss this one, guys. And next week, right here on the Monday show, we're going to have Ben Bellhorn in the studio with us to talk more about this fantastic, extraordinary Santa Performance Workshop that's coming to Ohio in March 2024. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Well, so you got Michigan and you got Sat Bob's coming up next year. Ben Bellhorn's class in March of next year. I mean, guys, go ahead and start allocating your funds from the season, and let's all meet up and have a good time and learn a little something.
Yes, for sure. Some great opportunities, some new opportunities coming up out there. Some people say, well, I've been to this, and I've been to that, and I've been to this. Well, here's your chance to get some new stuff, some new updated information, uh, new things to learn, and new performances, new everything. This is, 2024 is going to be a stellar year. I can already tell.
Well, like I say,
Yeah.
go back, and we're going to be in Branson for 2 weeks in July. So Bob and I think we go in on the 10th, and we're leave on like the 24th. So you never know when we might do a cut in or something. Who knows? Something a little crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, Branson's a ball of fun, and we look forward to everybody that's coming there and seeing them, and maybe jumping on and getting on some of our live broadcasts there. But those that can't make it, we look forward to you tuning in to us on Tuesdays and Thursdays up there, and any other time. And Tuesday Night Live's got some great upcoming guests too, Bob.
Yes, they do. And let's go ahead and start off with June 13th. What do we got coming for tomorrow night show, Scott?
Julia Cracky is a very good friend of mine that I ran into through, I guess it's coincidental, but I was looking for a cooling vest, and all I was finding was thermocools. And I ran across this one, and I had reached out to her, and she's with Therm Apparel, and she'll be the guest, and it's a state-of-the-art cooling vest. It's not like the Thermatex. This is like wearing underwear, guys. And all the packs slide in and out easily in the back. And I was at Gatlinburg with Bob, and Bob said, "Man, you look terrible. You need to sit down." Says, "You look like you're dying. Heat exhaustion." And I said, "Well, I'm a little warm." And she said, "Here, try this on." And I put it on within minutes. Bob was amazed. Were you not? How quick my color changed? And I
was starting to worry about you there, but we'd had a couple of tough days traveling across, and then the news of Gordon, and had hit us that morning, and I mean it was a tough morning, and I think you and I both were showing a little bit of fatigue. Luckily, my core temperature was at I was okay. I wasn't overheated, but up in elevation, it was warm in Gatlinburg this year, believe it or not, and so. Scott was turning colors there for a minute.
And it wasn't intentional, was it, Bob? But
No,
there's her website, the thermaapparel.com. If you have any need, or we strike your interest at all, you definitely want to come see her segment tomorrow night. I can't say enough about Julia, and on top of it, she's a hoot. She's really a sweet and fun, and I mean, we had a ball with her, didn't we, Bob, at Gatlinburg? I mean, she just and you never know, she might pull one out of her box and give it away.
Well, that's true. She has and I guess while we're talking about tomorrow night's show, we might as well mention Scott will also be joining me and Spangle in the studio, as well as Jessica Rosa. Normally, she comes in the first Tuesday of every month, but they had her mother-in-law passed away last week on Tuesday morning, and so she pulled out of last week's show. She's ready to come in this week, so she'll be bringing her trivia question and prize. So 4, that's right, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 trivia questions tomorrow night with giveaways. And Julia will be giving away one of the state-of-the-art cooling vests to the lucky winner of the trivia. Now, her trivia question, going to be tricky, and we're going to leave it at that. Just listen and listen well throughout the broadcast. The answers will be there. Take notes.
Also, go ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I reached out to Julia I think 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, she had sent vests out to people in the Santa community to try. Gordon happened to be one of them. And I
But
had, but when I had contacted her, she told me she sent one to Gordon. Well, Gordon had the same problem I did. They weren't made large enough. So now they have them that are big enough to fit a big guy like Gordon or myself. And that wasn't available at the time.
so
So
what I
that's
was going to say is these are not like your normal vests that are bulky in the front here. The core temperature is your vital organs in the back that help regulate, your temperature. And these are designed to wear directly against your skin. You do not have to wear an undershirt like you do with the other vests. So that's another state of the art technique that they've come up with. The material that's made out of, the quality of the material, and Scott had it on, didn't even know he had it on. I mean,
yeah.
that's how powerful it is.
They pull the ice pack out of a wet cooler, soaking wet, and stick it in there, and you do not get wet. It's amazing, and I'm not going to say more. Just join in tomorrow night, and you'll learn more than you can imagine about this. They are awesome. I can't say enough good things. And Julia has a very interesting story to tell how they got started in the whole industry. So we'll leave that for tomorrow. But let's drop down to the 20th. Now, Carl White.
Before you go any further, Scott, hang on a minute before you go any further. Let me go ahead and say this, that the material that's made out of is state of the art, and Julie has a really interesting backstory of what she did before they decided to do this. And of course, her husband and her husband's best friend are partners in this. We learn about all that tomorrow night. And real quick before we move on, Gatlinburg, when we walked in the door into the vendor's room, there was Rhonda and Michael Landon. Okay, Rex's daughter. Their booth, Julie was right across from them. You had Santa's closet next to her, next to Rhonda and Michael. And of course, our favorite booth was Jessica Rosa and Spangle back in the back. So we kind of floated around between this area the whole, day and a half that we were there. If you watched, you saw. But as Scott said, we had a blast there, and Julia was a lot of fun to hang out with, and so was everyone else. Now go ahead and go.
And well, I'm going to add to you again, Bob. Santa's Taylor, Bill Dindy from Dallas was actually there on the other side, and also Mitch Allen with Hire Santa. So, it was the whole gang was there, if you would. But I would like to add, I understand that in the School of Santas that Bill Dindy's going to be at School of Santas this year. So Santa's Taylor will be probably sharing the room with Jessica Rosa, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think a lot of the key vendors that we're seeing at all these other shows are showing up in Branson for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's Spangle's food. It's probably the burgers and the dogs, right?
Go. I'll second that one.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on until we spoil the whole thing and do the Tuesday show today. So anyhow, on the 20th of June, we got Carl White. He's the Jolly Santa Blue Eyes, 4 years professional Santa, and he's from Alpharetta, Georgia, which is north of Atlanta. If folks that don't know, he's a choir master at Windsor Symphony Orchestra in Atlanta. So he'll be.
That's Bruce that is the
that's
choir
Bruce's. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's from Atlanta. Alpharetta, Georgia is north of Atlanta between Stone Mountain and Atlanta itself. It's right north of Stone Mountain. Anyhow, sorry about that, Bruce. Well, since you said that and I've goofed that up, let's go back to June the 27th now. And that's Bruce Kotovich, which is he's an acting director at the University of Windsor School of Creative Arts. He is going to be performing hopefully next year if they'll let him out of Canada at the in New York at the
Carnegie Hall.
Thank you, at Carnegie Hall. I just drew a blank. I wanted to say something else, but thanks there. But if you haven't seen Bruce before, he's amazing. His tone is out of this world. The guy is just top notch as far as it goes to doing what he does. And So anyhow, we'll go on to July 4th. July 4th, the TNL 100th live show celebration. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm sure that you've got some things special coming up for that show, Bob. Am I correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got, in our heads, we haven't really started putting anything down pencil to paper yet. And, I mean, I've got a little bit of time left here to work on it. With Branson coming up and all, and with Gordon's passing, I mean, there's just been a whole lot going on trying to keep these shows flowing and getting our guests lined up and getting the scripts done. But we promise we'll have a show for you.
Okay, well, maybe fireworks is the 100th show, so who knows? Anyhow, on the 11th, as Bob mentioned earlier, Jackie Chamberlain, simply Mrs. Claus, professional Mrs. C, and entertainer with years of experience. She's on today with us as well, watching, and we can't wait to be able to visit with her live on the 11th, and we will be set up in Branson for that
That's
show.
right.
So it'll probably be Bob and I. Spangle may drop in if he's got a minute, but with the school starting up, he's going to be running around like a one-armed paper hanger. So
yeah, we're going to try to grab him, and Jessica Rosa will probably come in for a moment just because that's the Tuesday leading up to the opening of Branson, which is the 13th. School starts on the 13th, which we will be live that night. That'll be the Tuesday night live, Thursday night special, as we did last year. Of course, then we're going to be there 2 weeks, so that means the following Tuesday is also going to be in Branson, and the following Thursday will be in Branson. So we've got 3 live shows from Branson that will be full-length shows, and as Scott said, 10, 2, and 4, and many more.
okay, well, hey, I appreciate everybody and all their condolences once again for Gordon and all your kind words. I guess we need to move to the trivia answer maybe now.
Well, before we go, I've got a comment here that I need to address. Ted Flynn says that Bruce will also be at as one of the speakers at the Red Suit Conclave.
Awesome.
That you announced for
yeah.
Randy
And if you're up there, you don't want to meet him. He's a great guy. Meet him in person. My Mrs. Claus personally, her son and him were friends, so it was kind of interesting. But they're great folks, and you want to definitely stick your hand out and give him a handshake and thank him for what all he does, because he definitely does a lot for not only the community but the choir and professional orchestra type of community as well in Canada.
It's got another one here. Parker says scholarship winners need to stop by the live show too. Yes, we will have, and that's the glory of being there in Branson, because you got 120 plus people, and there will be so many interviews and folks that we're going to reach out. As last year, Scott and I have come up with a game plan on how we can, of course, enhance what we did last year, clean it up, make it better. He went out and bought a lot of equipment to make our job easier and better. A better communication between us and our producer, Angela. She'll be here still in Texas the first week, but she'll be traveling for the second week, so she'll be remote with us, as well as Randy will be. So we'll have the whole group there that second week. But yes, those are all things that we're looking forward to doing. Scott, thank you for the comment there. Let's see here. Oh, hi, Dana. Dana says, and it was kind of interesting. I'm glad I finally remembered to listen to y'all. You are keeping me company on the drive home from work. Fantastic. We're glad to have you in on the Monday show, Dana. I know you and your hubby always, tune in on Tuesday night. As you say, it's a date night for you guys, and we appreciate that too. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Did you see the comment from Bart Gaffney? Has anybody seen my daughter Hannah's Christmas movie? I'm not sure which movie that is.
Yeah, throw the title on there for us, Bart. That way we can talk. Oh, and by the way, Bart, look.
Yes, he said up here in the comments that he loves the backdrop.
Well, thank you, Bart. Thank you. Yeah, we knew that was a problem. It's always been a problem with that window in my living room. We closed the blinds, and it still, would shine through. This backdrop is courtesy of the gentleman sitting to my side here, Scott Saratin. He ordered this, got it for us for Gatlinburg. This is something that we'll be using also in Branson on our remote set. And this weekend, while we were all together for Gordon's celebration, he brought it to me and said, "Put it up. That'll solve your window problem." So thank you, Scott.
Well, and and the other thing, while we're just talking, don't forget that if you want some of the T&L swag, being hats or a mug or some of the other swag, possibly T-shirts we're looking at.
T-shirts
So
working.
we're hoping to have some of those there in Branson, and our dear friend Rex Ray, I think will be bringing those up from the South Georgia Depot of Swag, which is what give me that email address where they can find the swag online, Bob.
She'll pop it up right now. It's fancylees.com.
FancyLees.com. There you go. Awesome.
And
Thank you, Angela.
would appreciate it because Rhonda and Michael and Rex have went out of their way. I mean, they have been just so wonderful to work with. And Scott has reached out to Rhonda this week, talking about new ideas, new things. We're going to continually be trying to add new ideas and things to the list of things that we offer over there. We rolled out the first series. Hadn't had as good a response as we thought we were going to have because we were constantly being asked, "When are you going to have some merch? We want merch. We want merch." Well, we got it. Now nobody's buying it so much, So hey, go over and support these folks. They were really hard to put this stuff together. The ideas, the brainstorming with us to come up with what we thought would sell and would be important. And Scott mentioned, be looking for T-shirts. We got T-shirts coming.
So, but we will have some available there at the School of Santas in Branson. So, and I plan on drinking out of my new mug. I don't know about you, Bob.
Yeah, definitely. Parker says those Scott guys are so awesome. That's why I have to go by Parker. Laugh out loud.
Ha 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 ha.
Okay. All right. And Rex Ray says Angela Mack is the best. I agree with you, Rex. Gosh, man, I'm blessed with such a wonderful daughter and wife and granddaughter and family. My son, my daughter-in-law. I mean, I could go on for days.
Yeah, but we couldn't do it.
Son-in-law.
Couldn't do it without her. This show would not happen without Angela. That's for sure. As bad as sending out the links and setting those up every week, twice a week on top of that, and putting up with us trying to make the stuff work remotely, and then coming to a site and I mean, folks, you don't realize some of the technical problems that go through that have to be worked out in basically minutes, and to put some of this on sometimes. So thank you very much, Angela. I know that you can't see me, but I mean, you can see me, but I can't see you. But thank you from the bottom of my heart, please.
Very good. So she said, thank you. Bart got the name of the movie in. Holly and the Hot Chocolate was produced by QVC Plus Cable Channel. If you have not seen it, go over and check it out. Bart's proud of that one. And so it took a second to get that in there. Everything that comes into the studio as far as external links has to be approved by Angela Mack as the producer. She got that approved and it's in there. So check that link out.
Holly and the Hot Chocolate. Okay.
Very good. Okay. Now then, let's go ahead and let's do our trivia answers. This is a fun one, guys. I really did enjoy, like I said, the answer and researching this one. Real quick, I'll read the question before we give the answer. What was discovered on the island of Flores in Indonesia in 2004 in a huge cave? We need the scientific name as well as the nickname it was given and the size of said discovery. There was a lot of information there, and I read several articles on it. It was, like I said, very intrigued by the whole thing. The answer we was looking for was Homo
Yeah.
florensis. Florensis.
Yeah. That's
Homo
what I
florensis.
said.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you're reading that. The common name's Hobbit. How about that? Is that how?
There you go. The common name it was named was Hobbit, which and the cave that it was found in means cool cave. That's what the terminology meant. The actual name of that cave, did I put this up here? I don't think I did. I did not. Anyway, tell you what it is. A new tiny ancient human species that they found. Okay. Just over 1 meter tall. and they became extinct around 50,000 years ago. And dating the tools that they found with these remains, at first they started off with the one, then they found the cave that had a lot of them in there. Anyway, they date back to 1 million years ago. Man, that's phenomenal. But if for interpretation, 1 meter tall is about 3 feet and 3 inches tall. They may have colonized the island more than 1 million years ago, as I said, according to the date of the stone tools found. And this huge cave was Leon
Leon
Boué,
Bouet.
Leon Boué, which
Yep.
means cool cave. There you go. All right, I got it in there finally.
That
And
was
our winner
pretty
is
cool.
It was Charlie.
Charlie Johnson. Very good, Charlie. Good job, man.
He had to drop out. He had to go, so.
Okay, well, we'll reach out
Well,
to him. Let him know
congratulations, Charlie Johnson.
Yep, we'll reach out and let him know he was the winner. All right, Scott. Normally right here, this would be when we do the magical moments. Now, hey, what do you got for us?
Well, hey, everybody, you know something? Bob's always talking on the show. Let's see if we can make him disappear. Abracadabra, cadally, kaboom. Goodbye, Bob. Oh, well, he disappeared. Well, I guess I can finish the show up. That was pretty magical, right? Well, don't forget. Oh, I don't have the rest of the script. I guess we need to bring Bob back. This is my magical moment. Abracadabra, return to the show, Bob. Poof. Look at that. Wow. Well, it worked, and that's my magical moment. Randy probably will try it later again when I'm not around, but it won't work for Randy, I promise you. So thank you for joining in for Randy's magical moment done by Santa Scott. A little bit silly. Thanks much again. Back to you,
Fantastic.
Bob.
Did you have something else, Angela?
Well, we didn't do the banner for it.
Oh, no, it was okay. We didn't plan on doing the banner. Sorry,
We discontinued the banner for this show.
just for
Thank you,
today.
though.
Just for today. But we will do the next banner, so go ahead and kick it in for the Santa's plot checklist. All right, this is Santa's flight checklist. And before I actually get started in what I've got prepared here, I do want to say one thing real quick. I want to say hi to Santa Mel, Melissa Rickard, and just want to tell you guys always surround yourself with the best people. You're only as good as those folks around you. And I've got to give kudos to Santa Mel. Scott mentioned earlier in the show the phenomenal job she did at Gordon Bailey's Memorial. She's on here now. Melissa, publicly, we want to tell you again, thank you so much, dear. And we love you and John. And thank you for traveling down and doing that for us. It was fantastic. You did an excellent job.
Don't forget,
Okay,
you
now
got mine to do too, Melissa. When my time comes around, you're going to do mine for sure. If people that heard it, I would be honored for her to bury me. So thank you again, Melissa. Sorry.
she'll have further to go next time, though. Maybe, who knows?
Or
Well, anyway, let's
depends
go
where
ahead
it
and
happens.
let's go ahead and get into today's flight checklist. And this is a good timing for what we were just talking about with Melissa. Today we want to talk about our last sleigh ride. I know this is a topic many of us don't like to talk about, but reality is it's something we need to talk about. So this week's memorial celebration of life for our dear friend Gordon Bailey opened my eyes and got me to thinking about myself and all of you. Gordon was one hell of a smart man, no doubt about it. He was someone who thought about things many of us don't even think about or consider. His mind was always moving. He was my main mentor in our Red Sook community, and even after his passing, he is still teaching me lessons and has me thinking. I didn't see that one coming either. thought-provoking thoughts. He's been working for a number of years to make sure his final wishes were known verbally. He told me and Carissy over and over and over what he wanted, and constantly reminding us. Remember, I said he, sometimes the good Lord above kind of gives you some clues, and I think he knew that his time was short. After the cancer, the 72 hours of chemotherapy treatment that they gave him really damaged his heart bad, and he survived the cancer, of course, and got better and moved out of California. We documented that yesterday in the or Saturday in the eulogy, but his heart just was never the same. But he was able to live on and continue to work and give us instructions. He has told many of us, his closest and trusted friends, that he wanted to have happen once he departed. The really smart thing he did, though, was making sure he had legal authority in writing and notarized, clearly spelling out what he wanted to do with his worldly possessions. All in place with those important documents. What kind of documents are we talking about? We're talking about a declaration of trust. A trust or a will depends on how you want to set yours up, something we all need to do. He had a declaration of trust through an attorney, legalized, notarized, and it really took a lot of the pressure off Chris and I to be able to follow that to the T, and we thank him for that. He was thinking ahead there. Vehicle title. He owned a van that he's had since 2018, I believe it was when he bought it. And on the title, of course, he had given me verbal instructions on what to do, but on the title, he actually has a TOD clause, transfer on death, with my name on it, which is going to simplify that process so much when I go to transfer it over. What to do with his body? Cremation. So those are things that we all need to start planning for, thinking about, making sure that we know. And there is a program that Tom Carmody, rest in peace, my good friend, had shared with me, and I've lost it. I don't know where it's at. I'm going to have to dig for it, but there's a site that you can go to that will actually let you prepare your own eulogy and your own service to the T. Be involved with it instead of leaving it up to your loved ones to do. And some funeral homes may offer that. I'm not real sure. So our last lesson from a very wise man, Gordon Bailey, is to prepare ahead of time with the Lord and make sure you are involved when it comes to your final business. Those you really care about will thank you, and makes it easy to fulfill their final wishes. And that is today's Santa's flight checklist. Thank you, guys.
That was awesome, Bob. Very good advice. And Gordon
Well,
was a very wise man.
he was very wise. He was wiser than most of us knew. All right, so hey guys, we got any questions, any comments, anything you guys want to say before we start to wrap things up here? And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and mention the magical props challenge that we've had running now for 2 weeks. And Randy has received a couple of really good ones. Remember, this is kind of an assignment that we put out, a Randyl challenge, as you may. Prop and backstory short. She said you can pick up a straw, you can pick up a ball, of course, a red nose, anything, and build a little short 2, 3, 4 minute backstory to it of your own, and submit it to Randy, and have a chance to appear here on the Monday show and give your story to everyone, share what you've come up with, and have your own little teaching moment, your own moment to share what your brain has cooked up, you may say. All right. I don't think we have any other questions or comments, Scott. So thank you for coming on today. What'd you think, man? Did you have fun?
I always have fun with you, Bob. It's the thing about it is, but by the way, don't submit making Bob disappear to Randy. He can't. I've got a backstory on that, but I'm not going to share it today. How about that? But no,
Hey,
we had fun. Oh, and it's free. Yes,
just
it's
remember,
free.
to make Bob disappear is free.
There you
All
go.
right.
But no, I love being on here, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And guys, you don't want to miss Julia. These cool packs are, these vests are therm apparel. They are apparel. They're not just a vest. They are, and they Velcro and they don't ride up on you. I can't say enough things. So please tune in tomorrow and listen to what she's got to share. So thanks so much, Bob, for having me. Thank you, Randyl. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, viewing audience. Thank you, Spangle. Thank you, Is it Kaufman? Was
Yes.
that his closet? Thank everybody, and God bless you all. And please take care and keep Gordon's sister and the rest of his family in your prayers, please. And God bless you all.
Rex has got a comment there for you.
You guys are really strange definition of. Well, we try, Rex. We'll teach you the art of it one day, maybe in Branson. How about that?
Hey, I think the problem is Rex been hanging out with us too long already.
Yeah, we've got him.
Melissa Land says best ever. I agree with you, Mel. They really put a lot of thought and effort and research into these vests, and the state of the art, as I've been tagging it, is very, very, very true. Sean White, thank you. Thank you for the wish on a nice evening and week ahead. We say the same thing. Everyone have a nice afternoon. Be blessed. Stay well. Always let your mind be working and never stop learning. Thank you to everyone, and we will see you right back here on Monday next week. And Randyl should be back unless he gets a gig that pops up. And in that case, then we'll bring Scott in. And remember, next week, Ben Bellhorn will be on the show with us as a special guest to talk about his exciting new workshop that he has put together. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
See you tomorrow night.